Action.
All right, so welcome back, class. Today we're going to go over a specific example of natural selection and how the environment plays an important role in this. So does anyone know what natural selection is?
Is that survival of the fittest thing?
Yes. And so it's dependent on their environment, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And now, so today we're going to look over the peppered moth. Has anyone heard of the peppered moth?
No.
So there's a dark-colored one and a light-colored one. And this study was big during the Industrial Revolution in England. Does anyone know what the Industrial Revolution is? Can you tell me a bit about it?
It's not Steve Jobs.
No.
No. It's a movement from when agriculture started becoming more like, I don't want to say industrial, but that's what industry. So machines and factories started playing a big role.
Right. So when the factories started up, there was a lot of pollution, right?
Okay.
And a lot of soot was produced.
Mm-hmm.
So the environment around the factories were impacted. So trees and rocks turned darker color. So these moths were in these environments, and the trees and rocks were turning a darker color. So this is what the Industrial Revolution looked like. Lots of smoke, a lot of pollution, lots of soot. Now today, 90% of the moths in England are dark-colored, and 70% of the species actually changed from light to dark during the Industrial Revolution in England. And this was also seen in the United States, right, because they had Industrial Revolution as well. So to stimulate this, if you guys could log on to papermoths.weebly.com. You guys see that?
No.
The pepper? Pepper, yeah.
Yes. Got it.
You guys get it? Okay, you're going to select the furthest icon to the right. So it's the one with a bird and two moths on it. You guys got that?
Yep.
Okay. Would someone mind reading out the first paragraph? It should be on your screen.
Mine didn't say the rule. Mine's a little different. Mine says this simulation.
Simulation.
Is that next thing? Oh, no.
So it's
it was
called
just one
bird's eye view.
Yeah,
Do you have
there was
that?
just the next one. So now
Okay,
I found
perfect.
it. It says your role in the simulation
Yes.
is that of a predator. Guide the bird with the mouse to the moths. Click on the moth with the mouse to eat the moth. Every time you eat a moth, you will hear the crunch of the exoskeleton. If you miss the moth, you will hear the bird call. What does the bird call? Call? Eat as many moths as possible in the minute you have. So do we press next?
Yes, so you can pick a dark-colored forest, which represents the Industrial Revolution environment.
All right. In the dark. Okay. Do you just click it? Oh,
Yes? Yep.
wow. I wonder how my sound on.
So this would be the bird's view of the moths during this time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Really,
See, it's
this
harder
is
to
cool.
see
I can't
the
really
black
see the
moths
moth. Now I
against
see
the black trees.
Oh, I found one. It's easier to see when they're moving. Got one. I'm not very good.
It's okay, it's hard as a bird.
Mariah got something more crunchy.
Are you finished, Mariah?
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so does someone want to share with me what forest they picked? And then what were the difficulties as a bird? Go ahead, Dom.
So I chose a dark forest,
Okay.
and I couldn't see the dark moths to
Moths.
eat them.
So you
So
ate
the
more.
white ones stood out so much, so I ate more of them, I think. And then I started realizing that if I looked really close, I could see some of the outlines of the dark ones.
Okay. So what was your percentage of population for the dark moths and light moths at the end?
By the end, it said that the light moth population was 48% and the dark moth population was 52%.
So what does that tell you? Who survived in that case?
The dark moths.
The dark
The dark
moths. But that
moths.
didn't happen with mine.
Oh, really? Okay.
It was 55% for the light and then 45% for the dark. But I think that's because I was just looking for the dark ones and I wasn't paying attention to the light ones.
So in that case, do you think the bird might have adapted?
Oh, that's
Maybe
true.
better eyesight?
Maybe
better
the light
eyesight
one
than
could
other
be-
ones?
The light one could have scared it.
So I'd like you to think about how this relates to natural selection and talk about it in pairs using the moth example. So if you guys would like to pair up.
Yeah, they're like camouflage orange.
So it was like a good trait to be dark, to be a dark moth.
Which means they had more babies, which is why it survived.
There we go. So yeah, so then the light moths were being eaten, and the dark moths were surviving to reproduce.
Yeah.
And then their population went up.
That's
That
great. Yes, thank you for sharing. So do you think this happens with other animals and species?
Yeah.
So do you think the environment really has an influence on which animals survive and don't survive?
Yeah. Because the environment's where we live. And if we don't have a place to properly live, then we die. But if we have a good place to live, you can make babies.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
All right. Thank you very much, guys.
Bye.